Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to this week's edition of the Debbie Mason Coaches Report. My name is Rachel Vogel, and I am joined once again today by the head women's soccer coach of the Hofstra Pride, Simon Riddiough. Coach, how are you doing this Monday afternoon?
Yeah, good, Rach. Yourself?
Doing well. Glad to see the Pride came away with 2 shutout victories this week. Got the week started with 2-0 decision over Bucknell, turned around for a dominant 4-0 victory over Yale on Sunday. So safe to say that the offense was pretty potent, but let's hear your thoughts on how the team did this week against those 2 teams.
Yeah, again, looking back, I thought against Bucknell, we struggled. We didn't play well, but give credit to Bucknell. I think they set up a system that made it difficult, and they worked hard, and they were physical. And we struggled initially with that pressure, but we turned it around the second half and played well. Yale, I thought it was a much better performance overall. I thought we came to play, we came with impetus, we came with energy, and it was good to see that we dominated a good Ivy League team and got a lot of players a lot of minutes. So overall, very happy with the weekend.
That's excellent to hear. Well, you were faced with one challenge this week. Unfortunately, Lucy Porter unavailable for the weekend. But I think your team probably learned some things maybe without her on the pitch, which can be pretty strong. Maybe she's seen some pressure on her lately. You know, you haven't seen her on the stat sheet as much as you usually do. But what are some things that your team learned about themselves? Maybe their confidence levels, their ability to score no matter who's on the pitch. What did they learn about themselves from these?
Yeah, I think we've learned to trust the other players who came in for her. Emily Rose had a very good weekend, and so did Amanda Everson. They both created and got points, and gave us another offensive threat we can rely on if things aren't working for us. Obviously, missing Lucy is a huge loss, but the leadership of Anya, Marlena, Jordan, Littleboy, they all added a little bit extra to the team, and they were a little bit more communicative than they normally are. And that's purely because they had to fill the void that Lucy Porter gives us.
And certainly, as I mentioned, a dominant offensive outing by your team in general. But Mary Taylor really stepped up this week. 3 goals, 2 assists across both games. And she just, watching her play, she is literally everywhere, all over the pitch. And she is hustling all the time. Just talk about Mary's play. From what you've seen, and not just this weekend, but this season so far.
Yeah, Miri is one of those players who you love to have on your team, but you hate to play against them. She's a buzzsaw. She's annoying for the opposition. She works hard. She puts in a shift. She's physical. She's strong, and on top of that, she's extremely talented. And she's playing at a new level this year. She's playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of belief, and she's taken the mantle of goal scoring for us. And she can score any type of different goals, as we saw this week, and she scored loads of different goals. So we're excited for what Miri's bringing this year, and long may it continue, because as long as she's playing as well as she is, it gives us a chance in any game we play.
And some players seeing some time against Yale this week. A lot of your players who don't usually see as much time, but they got in. Just talk about the value of the depth on your team and how important this is now that you're getting through somewhat near the midway point of the season.
Yeah, it's difficult because we have got quite a large roster, and it's always difficult to keep players happy and keep them invested. But I really enjoy this squad. The players are working hard in every practice. They care, and it's always good to reward players with some playing time. And fortunately enough, we managed to do that a little bit against Bucknell and a lot against Yale. So it's good to have that depth. It's good to rely on players, other players rather than the usual suspects. And it bodes well for the future. I think we've got a very good team, a very good squad. And I think we're going to be difficult to beat when it comes to the trophy side of the season.
Usual suspects. I like that one. One last thing, Coach. Your team is just really proven to thrive on set pieces. This last stretch, quite unbelievable. I know from a personal standpoint, you draw a foul, offsides, whatever. It's just like, all right, here comes the opportunity. You almost know it's coming. So does that, do you guys work on that often? Is that something that you really put your focus on? But just explain Hofstra's success with those set pieces.
Yeah, I really don't know what it is. I think
nothing wrong with that.
I think Jordan, Sheps, and Miri put a very good delivery of the ball in, which when the service is good, it just requires the other people to time the runs on that service. So the service is excellent. It's dangerous at all areas of the field. And then that gives us a chance for people to get on the end of things. And that could be a throw-in, it could be a deep free kick, it could be a corner kick. And obviously I think we've got fairly good size throughout the team. And then we've also got the giant Georgia Brown, who is also always a threat aerially as well. So we do work on it. We do a little bit every day, but not to a point where we can say that's the reason why we're successful. It is what it is.
And not necessarily set pieces, but the assists on Friday's match against Bucknell were unbelievable. Those through balls, one by Mary and another by Emily Rose. Nice to see her step up. But would you say that reflects on just like basic fundamental skill, or once again, is that just a repetitive thing that you guys work on coming up the wing? Because you're two unbelievable through balls forward.
Yeah, I've got to give credit to my coaching staff, Jerry, Rory, and Kelsey. They've done a really superb job in preparing the team, and that goes with not just the tactical side of things. It's also the system, and also the way we train and play. And Jerry's been focusing on certain aspects of our play, and we're seeing the fruition of that. And it's always great to have a staff that you can trust and fall back on and allow them to take the reins. And I honestly believe that I've got 3 great staff members behind me, and I'm very fortunate.
Well, it's certainly been a very fun last stretch. 4 straight wins, outscoring opponents 12-1. I mean, the shot margin is monumental. But this Thursday, you're coming up against probably your toughest test, maybe since Penn State, I guess, Princeton, on the road, your final non-conference matchup before you get into CAA action. So just give us a little bit of an insight about what you may see against the Tigers on Thursday evening.
Yeah, Princeton have been probably the jewel in the crown for the Ivy Leagues over the last 10, 15 years. They've been competitive on a national scene. They beat Georgetown last weekend. Sean Driscoll's done a fantastic job, and it's Princeton. It's going to be a really tough game. We're playing away, which makes it even tougher. But that's what it is. That's why we play the games, and it'll be a good battle. It'll be a good gauge for where we are entering into CAA play, and also hopefully how good are we to maybe compete on a national level and get to the NCAAs. Right now we're playing well. We're playing with a lot of confidence and a lot of belief. But games like Princeton are what we prepare for, and we're looking forward to it.
We certainly need to have some tough competition heading into the CAA schedule. And that, like I mentioned, will wrap up the non-conference season. So just one game this week. And Hofstra fans, once again, Pride at Princeton Thursday evening, September 16th, 7 p.m. start. And you can watch that one on ESPN+. And Coach, congratulations on an excellent stretch for the Pride, and hope you keep it going into a very important match against Princeton on Thursday.
Perfect. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you, Simon. And that was head women's soccer coach Simon Riddiough on the W. Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.